Everybody, welcome back to Mr. Grosso. Today we're going to take a look at surface area. We're still continuing on with surface area. That's our topic that we're working on. We're back from spring break here. The last two shapes that we're going to take a look at, we're only taking a look at the basic surface area shapes, are triangular prisms, which is just the 3D version of a triangle, and cylinders, which is the 3D version of a circle. Okay, so if we take a look, there's lots of different kinds of triangles, but Miss Coleman and I aren't going to show you and give you guys like all the different kinds. What we're mainly going to focus on is a scalene triangle, and then I'll show you guys a right triangle later on. So scalene, if you remember, it's a triangle where all the sides are different lengths. None of the sides are the same length, and none of the angles are the same size. Everything is different. So if we look at it just like we did with the cube and the rectangular prism, if you start to unfold it and be able to look at the three-dimensional shape two-dimensionally, you can really break it down into the sides and the shapes to be able to get the surface area a lot easier and quicker. So how many sides are there on a triangular prism? Well, for triangular prisms, there's only 5. But what kind of shapes are those sides? So if you can see, there's 2 triangles, and then there's going to be 3 rectangles. So for the example that we're going to have here, this is the triangular prism that we have here, the scalene one. So if you look over here for the shapes and the sides, we tried to break it down again with perspective and have everybody hopefully be on the same page. So for this little walkthrough example here, I'm going to highlight the side that we're talking about. And the front side is a triangle side, so it's going to be this one that we're working with right here first. So remember, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So the base of this triangle is 9, but what's the height of it? So if you remember from the cube and the rectangular prism, there's really only enough numbers to go around and have everything like labeled once. Everything can't be labeled because then there's going to be numbers everywhere and it's going to be way too confusing and way too cluttered. So you got to look elsewhere for it. So it's either going to be given to you guys with something like this, where there's a line vertically up and down to show you what the height is, or it's going to be given to you somewhere near the picture, letting you know that the height is, whatever length in meters or centimeters or feet or whatever. So for this one, it's got the base of 9 and it's got the height of 4. So 9 times 4 is going to give you 36, but divided by 2, because it's a triangle, is going to give you 18 millimeters squared. All right, now if you notice, the triangles should be the same exact thing. So this one has the height of 4, but it also has that length of 9 millimeters. So 9 times 4 is 36, but divided by 2 is also going to give you 18. Now the left side here, it's almost always going to be a rectangle, but there can be a square look to them sometimes, or an actual square to them. But remember, square is also just a special rectangle, so still a rectangle. So for this one, it's 5 times 5, and that's the area of the square. Just because it's a triangular prism does not mean you're dividing all of these things by 2. You're only dividing those sides that are the triangles by 2. Everything else, you still get the areas their normal ways. So for this one, it's just 25 millimeters squared. And for this right side here, the slanted depth side is 5. So that means this slanted depth side is 5, and this slanted depth side is 5. But the long, lengthy side right there of that like little ramp side, that is 7. So that edge is 7, and that edge right there is 5. So 7 times 5 is going to give you the area of that right side, that right rectangle. So that's just going to be 35. And then the bottom down here is going to be 9 times 5, which is 45. And now that you have all of those sides accounted for and calculated on that checklist, all you have to do for the surface area is just add up all of those sides, and you got it. So when you add up all those sides together, you're going to get 141 millimeters squared. All right, there's going to be a few problems. There's going to be 4 problems for you guys to work on. I'll take a look at them with you real quick, just to help you out with the sides if you needed it. So if this side right here is the front, this little triangle side right here is the front, that means the triangle back here is going to be the back, which makes this large rectangular side over here the right side. This rectangular side over here is the left side. And then the bottom is the bottom. All right, and similar thing to this one down here. The triangular front is this one right here, so the triangular piece back here is going to be the back. And then this side right here, this larger ramp piece is going to be the left side. This rectangular prism over here is going to be the right side. And then the large rectangle on the bottom is the bottom. Now with the next two, it's not going to have a frontal perspective. It's going to have like a perspective from the side here. So now this side and this side are going to be viewed as the front. So if this is viewed as the front, that would make this longer ramp rectangle the back, and would make this triangle here the left and the triangle over here the right. And then this large rectangle would be the bottom. So we got the front rectangle here, back rectangle here, left triangle, and then right triangle. So for this one, the ramp is actually the front, like the ramp part of this triangular prism is the front. So that means this rectangle back here is going to be considered the back. This triangle here would be considered the left side. And then the triangle over here would be considered the right side. And then this triangle, I'm sorry, rectangle on the bottom would be the bottom. All right, so you guys work on those 4. If you need help or have any problems or questions, just email Ms. Coleman and myself, and we will be more than happy to help you guys out. All right, I'll see you guys at the next example.